Okay, as always, I will be fielding questions. I have both the agent forum and our Silver Creek TV pulled up here to my right. We are on, I believe this is week 6 of our, is it 6 or 7? It's week 7. Week 7 of our 12-week digital marketing course put on by myself and Silver Creek Realty Group leadership team. Came together and figured out some of the best marketing tools that you can use and should be utilizing. 90% of what we're talking about is free. So before you go start all of your paid promotion, let's cover all of our free marketing ventures and move forward from there. Today we're talking about LinkedIn. Why is it relevant? Well, LinkedIn was originally created as more of a professional portfolio page. It's like the professional version of Facebook. LinkedIn is not quite as robust as Facebook as far as followers go. It falls on the lesser side of the entertainment aspect and more into the professional field. And that makes it really useful. It is less saturated, and people are actually looking for important information. People actually feel less irresponsible for being on LinkedIn during a work day than they do being on Facebook or Instagram. So it's actually you thought more of as a tool than a social network to entertain yourself. And that's why I think it's really useful. If you are to talk to any of the big marketing gurus in social marketing, they will tell you that LinkedIn is where you need to be spending your time because there's less saturation of other people trying to pay and push for advertisement and FaceTime on LinkedIn. If you could just comment and let me know that you could hear me or that you can hear me, that would be awesome. Everybody hear me okay? I'm going to assume yes, hopefully. Can you not hear me? Oh, good. You can hear me. I can hear pictures a little blurry. Okay. Okay, good. We're back on track. Just making sure. I don't want to be rambling on myself over here. So you definitely need to have a LinkedIn because it fills out your digital portfolio, right? We have a Facebook. A lot of us have Instagram. A lot of us have Pinterest or Twitter or anything else. LinkedIn is another way to put your professional foot forward online, and that's the area, the range that it covers is the professional side of things. Definitely put one out there. A lot of people have one and they haven't touched it in years. It's really important that you go make sure that your LinkedIn information is accurate and up to date. You want to log in, make sure that you are at the correct brokerage, living in the correct area, under the correct profession, and see if you can make some connections. The way that this works is through connections rather than friends. It scrolls really, really similar to how Facebook or Instagram scrolls. When you post something, it goes up in this newsfeed. Something about this newsfeed that's different than a Facebook newsfeed is you're going to see a lot more professional advertising rather than entertainment focused pieces of information. I mean, there's really entertaining articles on here, but a lot of them are more relevant to a professional realm. That's what I enjoy about it. If nothing else, and we say this a lot, if nothing else, get on to LinkedIn and just listen a little bit. This is where people post when they have a movement in their career, if they're moving to a different area, if they're asking for professional advice, and you're here to give professional advice. You're a trusted advisor in real estate, right? Here. So if nothing else, just log in, see what people are up to. It's all really interesting stuff. Let me turn this off. Perfect. Okay, so setting up your account. I already have an account set up. It's very, very simple. You go to linkedin.com. It's going to automatically log me in here. When you have an account, or when you get your account set up, you can join now or sign in. When you go join now, you put your information in, put in a password, agree, and join and sign in. It's very, very simple. It'll walk you through a few pieces where it actually will ask you to upload contacts or see if you can connect contacts from Facebook or your email contacts so that you start with some connections. I'm going to go back over here, sign in. When you, just confirming stuff. When you sign in, you're not going to have a profile photo and you're not going to have a background photo. It'll auto-generate one for you. Your profile photo needs to be a professional headshot. It's really important that this isn't just a fun, flashy thing. You want to think of your page as kind of your resume. So you can go into your profile and edit your profile photo right here. Know that it is going to be circular when you upload, so a tall, narrow photo might be actually a little bit wide. So keep that in mind when you're selecting your photo. It does allow you to zoom in and out, straighten it, but not a lot other than that. Center here. You can add filters. And it's always going to show up circular, which is kind of helpful. Clearly, you put in your first name and your last name. The headline is actually really important. A headline needs to sum up what you do, but also have somewhat of a call to action in it. So marketing director at Silver Creek Realty Group is really great, saying that that's what I do for a living right now. If I was using this profile to reach out to people or, you know, maybe I'm recruiting them to a team, or maybe I'm trying to make sales to them, you know, thinking from a sales standpoint, I would want to add a call to action. I would say something like, let's connect and talk marketing. For you as a realtor, I would say, let's connect and talk real estate. Or, you know, let's connect and talk about the market or something like that. Or even just let's connect is really, really great to kind of invite somebody to a conversation with you about what you're doing. The call to action is actually really, really important. So I'm going to leave that like that. Current position, marketing director at Silver Creek Realty Group. These are generally going to be the same. If I wanted to get more creative and say marketing guru posted working with real estate. Marketing guru working with real estate professionals. Let's connect. and my current position says marketing director at Silver Creek Realty Group. That's a little bit more of a warm connection there, right? Education, University of Idaho, your region or your country, the US. You can put your location and your postal code and your industry. It has a ton of industries to select. You would go select real estate. You can put some contact information here. For you, it is really important that you go in and add your website. I don't have my website in here, but I'll put it in. LizComer.com. And Liz Comer Studio is a company, so I'll put that there. You can add as many websites as you want. So if you have a profile page, put it on there. Put your Boomtown page on there. If you have KV Core, put KV Core in there. Do you recommend adding your phone number in the header? Alicia, that's a really, really good question. If you're looking for phone calls, absolutely. I would keep it in mind that this is a place where a lot of people are looking to recruit or reach out to people because it's a professional environment. A lot of recruiters use LinkedIn regularly, whether it's in real estate or anything else. So if you say anything along the lines of you being a sales professional and you put your phone number out there, recruiters are going to call for they'll call for insurance sales, they'll call for I don't know, door-to-door sales. People are really looking for that. So it wouldn't be bad to give it a shot for the sake of the client, because if the client needs to get a hold of you, that's fantastic place for them to find you. So it's kind of, you know, headlining your phone number will get the response that you're pushing out. Does that make sense? So yes and no, Alicia. If it was me personally, I wouldn't put it there because I don't want everyone calling me. But as a realtor, if you want your clients calling you, it's not a bad idea. But there is a place, if they're seeking your phone number, you can put it in right here. Your address, I'm not going to put my address. You can put your office address. That's what I would suggest versus your home address. And then you can put instant messenger in here. They're going to, this is another place where people can reach out to you if they want to chat with you. Birthday, let's put that in for fun. Lots of people will tell you happy birthday. In fact, I'm pretty surprised that my birthday wasn't already in there because a lot of people tell me happy birthday on LinkedIn. Okay, so LinkedIn is pleasantly surprising by the amount of people that do reach out to you. Let me make sure I'm following my notes here. So we have our profile image. It should be a professional headshot. We've put in our name and our title. We've shown our value add by putting some sort of value add and followed up with some sort of call to action about connecting. We have put all of our information in. People can contact if they are looking to contact you. Let's go into our summary or our bio before we talk about making connections. So in the About section, oops. This is a section where it's actually recommended that you don't use a lot of I language. I personally have a lot of I language in here. Working with both local startups and international brand leaders, I specialize in taking marketing strategies to the next level by enhancing visual design, written communication, and dynamic function of both visual and print marketing efforts. And then I go in about my bio and my summary here. If you can swing it to write this more less as an I and what you're actually doing language, that's best. But if you have a really good bio, this is the place to put it. Keep in mind, most people are going to read this first sentence. Mine is very long. That might actually even be a run-on sentence. They're going to read this first sentence. If they're interested, they'll keep reading here, but then they're probably going to jump to the end. This, Alicia, is where I would put my contact information here at the bottom. If you would to reach out, email me at lizacomer@gmail.com or message me directly and save. Personally, I'm a little bit private about my phone number, so I'm not going to put my phone number in there. But as a real estate agent, that might be your golden nugget right there. That would be a really good place to put it. You put your contact information at the bottom of your About section. Okay. Best posts, documents, media, and websites. So since I am a content creator of sorts, I do a lot of marketing. This is where if I was looking for a job in marketing, media, design, I can put featured work here. For you, you could put maybe a featured home or a featured listing, or maybe you're representing a certain subdivision or a development. This would be a great place for you to add your featured section, and you can add that as a document or as an image up in here. Okay, in your experience, this is where your resume side of things or the portfolio side of things comes out. This is pretty important. I would definitely have your education filled out. I would definitely have your work experience filled out. If you have only ever done real estate with one single company, that is actually really fantastic. You can say, you've been there for 10 years, and I would write out a long description of what you've done there. I've worked as a marketing and media specialist in a few different places, so I've put all of them here. And I put my education down here. To edit these, you can just go in and click the edit button. You can add your start date and end date. You can update all of these pieces. You can put the description of what you do there. You can upload media. So if I did a specific project that I wanted to feature here, I could upload that. And you can save it. They really allowed you to get creative here. If I was to add a level of experience here, you can hit that plus button. And discard. You can hit this plus button and add another one. Take skills quiz. Okay, so adding skills into endorsements, they only allow you a certain amount of skills. I probably have the max number here. What is it? 4, 7, 10. So 10 skills. Oh, I can add 8 more skills. So in here, I could add market statistics. Let's do market strategy. And it adds as a skill. Oops, sorry, my these adapters on the Mac are really terrible idea by Apple. Okay, when you add these skills, people can actually go and endorse them. So 3 people have come in and said, yes, I definitely think that Liz has the skill of graphic design. You can ask people to endorse you in those specific skills. And it's basically saying that you have these credentials and other people know that you have those credentials. Your industry knowledge, I went through and just put as many pieces as possible in this industry knowledge, and a lot of people have come through and said, yes, she can do advertising, she can do social media, she can do content development. Good friends will come in and, it's usually not even friends, it's mostly associates that'll come in and say, I've worked with Liz in Adobe Illustrator, and they'll endorse you on that, and then you can go back and endorse them on whatever skills or market industry knowledge they have, fine art, digital imaging. So that's kind of a fun way to endorse each other and let people know that you can actually do these things. And then your interests. It is helpful to add interests. When you're creating your profile, it'll go through and ask for certain interests, so it can start feeding you things from businesses that apply to your interests. Just kind of, a lot of social platforms do that. Oh my goodness. This computer's driving me nuts, guys. Just stay up. I've been through 3 doctors now, and they honestly always seem to go out during the class. Okay. Look, it's wanting to. Should our education skills be related to our current job? Okay, can you all see me okay? Sorry about the glitches there. I think we're back. Frank asked, should our education and skills be related to our current job? I think to an extent, yes. But honestly, any experience is going to help connect you to your sphere and your realm, right? Okay, thanks, Frank. So let's say before I was in real estate, I worked for a flower shop, and that was my passion. Well, we really, here at Silver Creek Realty Group, we really push that you also push your passion. Having those connections with that group of people that maybe also are passionate about flowers or plants or floral design or the creative side of things. I mean, that's an in to a niche, right? And that helps you kind of define your niche. So almost everything that you do should be related to what you're doing now. Does that make sense? So unless you think that your previous job is going to actually defer people from what you do, I would say definitely list your prior experience. It makes you more relatable. Okay, now that we're back, I'm going to try as hard as I can not to touch the computer. I'll just touch my mouse here. We went into the summary and bio. We added how to reach you in our about section. And let's see, let's go over, and we're going to edit on the sidebar over here on the right. So move this over so I can see it. Edit public profile and URL. So this is what the public can see when they see your page. You should have your public visibility on. If you turn this off, nobody can see you. You turn it back on, this is what people can see. For some reason, my profile photo is not showing up, so that's interesting. Maybe it's still catching up from when I was just editing it. Interesting. Okay, up here in the top, personalize your URL for your profile. So it'll auto-generate a URL for you, a LinkedIn URL for you here. It's going to be www.linkedin.com/something/Liz dash blah, 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 numbers, letters, numbers. It's like super, super long. You can go and edit it, and it gives you this section right here to edit. And mine is currently Liz-Comer. It shortens it, and it makes it a lot easier for you to share with other people. You can also put it on like your business card or postcard, and it's easier for people to remember it. They know that you're on LinkedIn, and they know that they can find you pretty easily. So I'm going to go save that. Sometimes your actual name, like Liz Comer, is taken I think that probably was the case here. And I did Liz Dash Comer. You could also do, like I could have done Liz A Comer. I am not going to change it here in this scenario for you because I have this URL in other places. Like right now it's linked on my website. So if I was to change this, that's going to break the link where it's at in other places, and it's going to make it unaccessible. So once you change this, it's best not to change it again. Visibility is on. Oh, that's why profile photo. We want that to be public. Okay. Background photo show, headline show, website summary article. So everything that I'm posting is shown publicly. Public profile badge. Promote your profile by, this is new. This is interesting. I've never seen this before. Promote your profile by adding a badge to your blog, online resume, or website. Let's see. Choose a badge. Oh, okay. So this is pretty cool, actually. I haven't seen these before. They must have done this the last year or so. So this code I could superimpose into my website, and it'll create a badge so that on my website they can go click view profile. If I want this specific one, I'll copy this code here. They can go click view profile from my website, and it'll take them to my LinkedIn profile. That's pretty neat. Good job, LinkedIn. Okay, over here on the right, we saw this section, first degree connections. So LinkedIn works based on connections. You're not friends, you're connections, right? I have currently, well, it says I have 500 plus connections. It'll never show how many beyond 500 that I have to the general population, but I believe it's something like close to 2,000 connections. I think maybe it's around 1,500. Let's see. Oh, I'm wrong. 997 connections. So these are immediate contacts that I'm currently connected with that can message me, that can add me to groups, and that will see anything that I post in their feed. Your connections are also connected to you via email. There is a way, and I'm going to show you at the end of this session, how to actually go export your connections and get all of the emails from those connections, and you can actually add them to your email list. And that is a little secret weapon of LinkedIn that not a lot of people know about. I forget how to do it because it's not the easiest thing to do. I have to go look it up every time, but we'll look it up together, and I'll show you how you can add all 997 of those people to your personal email list. People connect with you through invitations here. So I currently have 31 invitations for people to connect with me. They have actually reached out and said, can we connect? I am going to go in and accept all of them. Unless I see somebody, I'd love to connect with you. Let's connect. If I ever see somebody that looks kind of suspicious, I'll go look and see who it is, but it's a generally safe environment, and normally I know most of these people. A lot of them have automated messages, which means that they probably want something from me. Because this is a business environment, the ask isn't outside of the realm of our etiquette, right? People do ask for any great opportunities, and we just go with it. All right. So these are connections of, the people that I just connected with. These are people, potential connections that I may know, people that I may know at Silver Creek Realty Group. So Jennifer Williams with Silver Creek Realty Group, I can ask to connect with her, connect here. Absolutely want to connect with everyone on Silver Creek Realty Group. To buy. A lot of times, I don't realize it, but I'll have a friend on here I haven't yet connected with. It's actually a really good friend, and I always want to support them on their business ventures, so I'll connect with them too. The difference between a connection and a follow is these people are set up as businesses. Now, a question that a lot of people have is, should I, a lot of people ask, should I have my real estate business set up as a business profile on LinkedIn? And my answer is, it depends. So there's our connections. We'll go back to our homepage. So you can see this section is a business page. Silver Creek Realty Group is set up as a business page. And my personal profile right here is set up as a personal page. I would definitely set up a business page if you have employees or people that work for you that are going to want to be a part of your business page. So if you have like one employee that is your TC, or if you have an assistant or something, I don't think that I would say that you need a business page. However, if you, that's cute. If you have a team and you have 5 realtors that are working with you, then absolutely put your team name into a business page, and then you're going to have your teammate or your teammates go and say that they are employees of so-and-so real estate group, right? To do that, over here under work on the right, you'll go down to the very bottom and you'll hit create a company page. Sound good? Are we all following? Any other questions? LinkedIn is one of the simpler ones, so we can go nice and slow and easy with this and not overwhelm anyone too much. There are a lot of advertising opportunities and analytics opportunities through LinkedIn. However, they're not as free as you would think. So we're going to go over. So I used to have the premium, and it's paid. I believe I was paying $36 for a month for premium. There's tons of cool stuff on LinkedIn. So there's LinkedIn Learning, which is almost like they pull a lot of things from lynda.com. So if you're unsure about some sort of general business skill, you can go over to LinkedIn Learning and motion graphics for social media. This would be actually a really great class to take, especially with the content that we're talking about right now. Storytelling with data. This is another great class to take. We're constantly telling stories with data for real estate, right? Chair work, yoga, fitness, and stretching at your desk. I might watch this after this because my back has been hurting. Lead generation on social media. So all of these are awesome courses that you can watch, and they're provided specifically by LinkedIn for you. Digital body language. That's really interesting. I wonder. That's probably how you look on the screen behind your. All sorts of fun stuff. There's a drawing class here. Improving photographs. They kind of pull from your interests. So if you're ever interested in that, that's under LinkedIn Learning. We'll go over to Insights. Okay, so Talent Insights. This is a essentially it is a recruiting platform. If you contact them or if you watch the video, they will hit you up a million times. They're already hitting me up now. For their recruiting platform. They do have a fantastic recruiting platform if you're trying to recruit for your team. It is a little bit expensive, but they badger you pretty good. So if you're interested in that, that's where you find that. post a job. If you have an opening for a job, LinkedIn is one of the best places to post for it because this is where people go to find a job. Advertising. I have only done a few paid ads with LinkedIn. They always gain good traction. I've always gotten pretty good conversation from ads, but I've never gotten a full click through. My best suggestion for the ads campaign manager in LinkedIn is that you are very, very specific, extremely specific about what you're asking for. Okay, groups. Groups are just like Facebook groups. You can be a part of all sorts of different kinds of groups. You can go search for groups. You can create a new group. I am a part of one single group, Financial Empowerment for Boise Businesses, or Boise Business Community. It's just that they'll post, it's really similar to a Facebook group. Co-finder, if you're looking for a specific person in a specific area, career coaches, reviewing your resume, these are all paid, clearly paid services, but they pull some of the best of the best. Put them up there for you. Salary, you can compare your salary to others in your area. Doesn't necessarily apply to a self-employed person. And SlideShare. SlideShare, I think, is new. So this is presentations. If you have presentations or infographics that you are looking for, you can come and search in the SlideShare. Maybe you're looking for the steps to purchasing a home, or let's see, tips and tricks for a business presentation. You can go, it's kind of just learning through slides. Oops. Okay, so that's the work section. Let's talk about your connections. So the connections that I have, the 960 whatever people that I know, are my first degree connections. Let me see, do I know Alicia? Okay, so I am a first degree connection with Alicia on LinkedIn. That means that I can go message her at any time. I can, similar to like as a friend, I can go see what she's been posting, see, you know, all about her, what she's done here. I can also go over here and see on the right, these people are second degree connections. That's what the second means. So these second degree connections might be a really good way for me to go, let me go see. So Kevin Hughes would be a second degree connection here, and I'm going to click connect. I don't need to say anything, but I absolutely can. If I felt uncomfortable or like he didn't have a reason to be a connection with me, I could say, hey, we're both friends with Alicia. I saw that you're interested in real estate. Or, hi, Kevin, I work for Silver Creek. You could, I mean, whatever is appropriate. I'm not going to say anything, and I'm just going to send the invitation. The fact that we share contacts or share connections already means that it's very, very likely that he is going to become a connection of mine. All right. So that's a really good way to make connections, is just to go through, find people that you're already connected with, and find those second level connections and reach out by connecting, right? I would not send more than 150 connection requests per day, or LinkedIn will flag you. So it's actually, it would be a lot of work to send 150 in one day. It might be a good thing to have an assistant do, is go out and see how many connections you can make on LinkedIn. But when somebody connects with you, that's a good thing. You know, they're going to see what you're posting. you can message them directly, and you'll also have access to their email address as a connection. Okay. A second or third degree connection is not going to allow you to message them. So let's see if I can find Melinda Gates. I'm not going to be able to message her. This is probably her foundation page and not her specifically. Okay, Jennifer Lopez. So I cannot message her, so that's where that connection piece is, and I'm sure that this is a business page also. I'm trying to think of somebody specific that I can go find to show you a third degree connection. Actually, let's go here. Just a friend of mine from college. So I don't know this person. Oops. Okay, so where it says message here, it's locked because I don't know them. If you pay for the premium, you can message anyone. To get around paying for premium, I could go join a group that Danny is a part of, and I could connect with him that way. It's kind of a roundabout way to connect with third party or third degree people. However, I could just click connect and we could be friends. Okay. So you can also get really creative with who you're looking for. So if I wanted to look for people in real estate to make connections with, I can literally click people in real estate and I get a lot of results. Maybe I want to narrow it down to Gracie. I'm going to apply. And it's going to break it down to a lot less results, but still a lot of results. All of these people, I feel, comfortable with connecting with. So if I was looking to grow my sphere of realtors that I know in this area, I could just go connect with these people. Again, I would not send more than 150 per day, but this is how you can kind of grow that sphere. Okay. The last thing I had to talk about here was creating that company page. Like I said, if you have a team, that's a great thing to do. You really only want a company page if people can say that they work for your company. So if it's just you, a profile page works fantastic. All right, last but not least, the secret weapon of LinkedIn. We are going to look up how to export email lists from LinkedIn. Okay, click the Me drop-down menu in the upper right, click Settings and Privacy, click Privacy. Okay, I'm gonna actually pull this over here. Okay, so this is how we do it. And this is a gold mine. This is 1,000 new addresses on your email list. Okay, so we did the Me section. I'm going down to Settings and Privacy. I am clicking the Privacy tab. I am scrolling to download your data. It's never easy. Let's see. Privacy section. Getting a copy of your data. Did they change it? No. Let's see. Sync your contacts. You can also upload. Am I blind? Let's see. Let's try this. How LinkedIn uses your data section. It should say download your data on here. Sync contacts, sync calendar. Salary data, personal demographic information, socioeconomic information. Let's see. Getting a copy of your data. Okay, so if you're going to Google it, it says click download your data. And I do remember that being on there. It looks like LinkedIn has changed that to getting a copy of your data. And that is under how LinkedIn uses your data. It still makes sense. Okay. Now we're going to download larger data archive, including connections, contacts, account history, and information we infer about you based on your profile. I want something else in particular. I just want my connections, and I can request. We'll request that. And your password. Okay, so that request is pending. They're going to gather that information for you and they'll send it to you. It is a fantastic way to build your digital sphere and gather emails so that you can send them a newsletter every month, or you know, add them to a campaign or show houses that way, right? How can we ask someone to connect with us on LinkedIn if they are not on LinkedIn? Well, you can't. If they're not on LinkedIn, then they can't really connect with you on LinkedIn. Ask if you're asking for someone specifically, see if they're on Facebook. That's one of those things where it's best to be in multiple places so that you can be seen in multiple places. That gets me back to the content that we're posting on LinkedIn and what works well. Again, so I like to talk about social media in general, about like you're sitting at a dinner table and you're with your friends and your family and your business associates all at one table. This table in particular, maybe you're just out to lunch with your business associates, right? And here is where you're going to talk about more professional things, and it's a little bit less appropriate to talk about so many family things if they don't apply so much to your job, or entertainment factors if they don't seem appropriate to talk about at a conference table or at lunch with your associates. So as far as the content goes, I would post really similar to what you're posting on Facebook, but make sure that it holds a higher threshold as far as professionalism goes. Sometimes I'll regenerate or recycle information that I did put on Facebook or Instagram, and I'll just write the caption a little bit more professionally, or I'll just make sure I have a more professional image to post with whatever I'm working on. Statistics go really well here. Articles go really well here. How-tos and freebies. Maybe you put something about being an expert for first-time homebuyers. Providing that information for people who are aspiring to advance in their careers is what's going to travel best here in their personal lives, but this is a professional world that we're posting in, so keep that in mind. If they're not on LinkedIn, maybe you could encourage them. It's important that they get on LinkedIn, but there's not really a way for you to connect with them unless they have an account. I would say most professionals that are digitally savvy have a LinkedIn. Surprisingly enough, even my parents both have a LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is literally the only digital platform that my dad is on, and he's 65, or 63. He's 63. So there is a really good audience there. But if they're not there, they're not there, you know. Do we have any more questions? This might be the first class that I'm actually on time to end. So we actually have good time for questions if you have any. We have talked about where to and how to create content for platforms such as Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. I think that those all translate pretty well. LinkedIn is one of the profiles or digital profiles that you can post to from something like Hootsuite or an account manager. So Facebook and Instagram are connected in that you can post up to Facebook from Instagram, but you can't post over to LinkedIn. If you were to get a third-party post manager, you could post to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Pinterest all in one fell swoop. If you're interested in that, and if the content was appropriate. You can recycle content between the platforms. I do it all the time because they're different audiences, right? It's a different audience that's going to see it on Facebook, a little bit different audience that's going to see it on Instagram, quite a bit of a different audience that's going to look at it on Twitter if you're using Twitter, and definitely an entire different audience on LinkedIn. I would say that these are really quality client potential type people. So it's best to keep it as a personal page unless for a company. Yes, because this is already, it's already a professional profile. And as a realtor, you're going to want to be more of a warm lead than a cold lead contact, right? If I was reaching out to a company that didn't have a face to the company to sell real estate, I would actually probably connect with the person where their face is in the profile photo than I would to Silver Creek Realty Group, because I don't know who's manning that, right? So Frank, I would definitely just keep it as your personal profile and say, I'm a professional in real estate. I would love to connect with you to talk all things real estate. And I think that people will reach out, are much more likely to interact and reach out with you than if you were a company. When you have a team, if you have 5 or 6 people on your team that want to say that they are part of the company, so there are multiple faces to the company, that is absolutely appropriate. Silver Creek Realty Group has 1,500 agents. So of course we're going to have Silver Creek as a company so that agents can go claim Silver Creek as their company. So when you're filling out your profile, you can go say that you work at Silver Creek Realty Group, and that can come up in your credentials, and that kind of backs you. It actually gives you quite a bit of backing because we are a highly successful real estate brokerage. So when people are researching you, then they can click back to here and they can go see Silver Creek Realty Group is where you hang your hat, and we have good stuff on here, right? So anytime you're looking for something to post, you can go look up Silver Creek. Definitely follow us too. If you're on LinkedIn, go follow, and you can contact if you're interested. Or you can just call me anytime. But go follow, and then if you want to reshare any of this information, you can always reshare anything that Silver Creek posts. In fact, we encourage it. We love it when you share this stuff. Any other questions? We have 5 minutes to spare. I'm pretty impressed. I feel like I'm always rushing to get out. So LinkedIn is essentially pretty simple. They are going to ask you to pay for the profile. I have paid for the which plan did I say? It's the first tier plan. I think it's like the professional plan or something. Premium. I paid for premium, and it was about $36 a month. What it did that I loved the most was it showed me who was clicking on my page and looking at me. The benefit of that is I know who's curious, and then I could reach out to that person and say, hey, I see that you're interested in whatever they're interested in marketing, in my case. See that you're interested in marketing. If you ever need any help, I do a lot of freelance work, and I, have time to take on 3 more projects in the next 6 months. Here's my contact information if you're interested. So if you were interested in that, $36 last time I checked, $36 a month for the premium. There are other things like you can message up to the 3rd degree of introduction, so you don't have to know people to message them. You get certain insights and statistics. You can also pay for advertising on LinkedIn, and if you're interested in doing that, you can reach out to me and we can talk about it together. I can send you some resources for that. Do we say? So in this situation, I would say yes. On any other profile, because it's a social profile, like on Instagram, it has to be 1 click away. Because LinkedIn is so closely associated with where you work, that's what it's about, right? Your professional field. I would say it's absolutely important that you have Silver Creek Realty Group somewhere on your page. Again, like every other profile that we talk about, do not put the Silver Creek logo as your photo. You can put it as your banner up here, but you need to have your photo here so that you are representing your business and not trying to fly your flag as high as the Silver Creek Realty Group flag, right? You don't want to be mistaken for the brokerage. You get in a lot of trouble for that. But yes, since this is directly associated with what you do, I would say it's pretty important that you do have the Silver Creek Realty Group is your brokerage somewhere on your page, and somewhere pretty easy to find. Does that answer your question? Any more questions? You always have the best questions, Frank. I really appreciate it. Okay, I will stay on until 3:30, just for the sake of making sure I stay on the full time. If you do come up with any questions, let me know. I'm trying to think of anything else. So hashtags work the same on a post also. You can actually go search hashtags too. Your posting comes up here, and it's actually simpler than in a Facebook post. You can do images, you can upload documents, you can do videos, and you can also click who sees it, right? So that's fun. Okay, so articles and blogs is another section that we didn't talk about. If you are a blogger or you're a writer, this is a great place for you because you can write long articles that can get feedback, and you can treat this kind of like a blog forum. I haven't ever seen anyone who is kind of a hobbyist writer do well on LinkedIn. If they're not very serious about writing, it doesn't get very far. But if you ever wanted to write an article about something and publish it on LinkedIn, it's one of those things like it could go viral. You never know. So I challenge you to jump on, just scroll around. If nothing else, listen. Just see what other people are doing. It's always a good idea to, go find somebody who is maybe an adjacent agent somewhere. I was going to say a competitor, but nobody competes in real estate, right? So go find somebody that you look up to in the industry and see what they're doing, see what they're posting. Video is always going to do really well, hashtags, put your hashtags in just like Facebook. It's not a whole lot different. And I think that you're going to be impressed. It's all about the connections and growing your sphere. So just being present is the name of the game. If you do end up having any other questions, you know where to find me. My email has changed from lizacomer@gmail.com to liz@silvercreekrealty.com. I still answer to both, but just so you know, I have a new one. And that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for joining. Very excited to see your guys' LinkedIns. Go follow me. You can connect with me on my personal page, and you can also connect with Silver Creek Realty Group. Just Google or just search it in the top search bar here. And we'll see you all soon.